here comes Abel Ibarra, one of the hottest guys going in this category.
Abel Ibarra's machine is one of the best known in all of import drag racing.
It will be an all Ibarra final. That old car that Abel used to drive for the records, ladies and gentlemen, that is a Mazda R100. Look at it run. Looks like Ibarra with a 511 light.
Abel Ibarra's machine is still far from its performance potential.
Abel Ibarra has long been known as a man with a lot of intensity who can make things happen. We'll see if Abel can better his ET right now. He's on a little good pass here.
Abel Ibarra, who indeed has the quickest rotary-powered machine of all time here this weekend, running darn near 8 seconds flat, is indeed probably one of the most knowledgeable men ever with this type of engine.
My name is Abel Ibarra. I am a drag racer who has a shop now, and I love to work on rotary cars and build them, mainly put turbochargers on them and make them go fast. The car in the background is a 1971 Mazda R100. It is my original drag race car that I first started off with drag racing professionally. It's turbocharged. It has an FD REW twin turbo base block with a single turbo running on gasoline. It runs a liquid to air precision turbo with Adaptronic and an AEM dash. To everyone's surprise, including mine, when we first started to build the R100, I got together with John at AEM when they had the small shop. John got it tuned, went to the track for the very first time, and I think the first time out, we ran like 11.8. Then the second pass out, we ran like a 10.8, but the car had a problem where it was hitting like a rev limiter. It wasn't really going past a certain RPM. Came back to AEM, John got together, looked at the software, looked at the data, found out what was going on, and we rented Palmdale. So that very first time that we went to Bakersfield, Mike Ferreira from Turbo Magazine was at the In-N-Out Hamburger, and he said, "Hey, we like your car. It looks like a really nice build. You got a lot of good stuff on it. We want to shoot it and do a feature." I said, "Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, we're going to figure out some problems with the car, and I'm going to rent Palmdale, and we're going to go up there and run the car again. You're more than welcome to come along if you want to come." So he said, "Great." So we show up to Palmdale, get the car warmed up, ready to go. We make a pass, and lo and behold, the very first pass out, not even with the boost turned up or me even trying, it goes like a 9 something, and we're like, wow, this is turning really interesting. Go back to the pits, look at the data, make a couple of changes. I said, okay, we're gonna hit it this time, and we go back out and it runs an 8.6. That was like, wow, everybody like, I'm so happy, I don't even know how to act. I'm on cloud 9. I can't even describe how happy I am. It became the fastest import and Mazda in the country, and if I'm not mistaken, the fastest rotary powered car in the world, and may have been the fastest import period in the world also, which if I didn't do it that day, I got to a later day. I think within a couple of months we got the car to run like an 830, which at the time was the fastest import and fastest Mazda in drag racing. And then things just really started to turn around for me. You know, I had different companies start approaching me. By that time, IDRC, Naira was taking off. We started hitting those events, and the car started to go really, really fast. I think we got the car at the time when I was driving it to go as fast as a 8.0. 8.0 at 169, 170. And things went really, really good. And the car got known all over the world. I mean, the car got inducted. It is the first and only car that got inducted into the NHRA Hall of Fame while Wally Parks was still alive. The day before we put the car into the museum, we dynoed the car just so we could see where we were at, what it was going to be, so we had numbers for the people at the museum. We put the car on the dyno. It made a 752 at 25 PSI with a 76 millimeter turbo on C16, on race gas. That happened in 2002, so the car's been silent. I was debating if I should sell it, not sell it, if I should park it and not try to race it anymore. But you know, I started thinking that just sitting in a corner, it's not gonna take much to get it going. Maybe I can have some people come on board again and help me with the car and get it out to the track. So luckily, you know, I've had the really good relationship with AEM. They helped, because in reality, if it wouldn't have been in the beginning for John and the original AEM shop, I don't think I would have ever got to the point where I am now in my drag racing career history. John really put an effort not only to teach me the way on how to tune and program fuel injection. But man, the guys there at AEM back in the day put so many hours into this little car, you know, from wiring to making special parts for the fuel rails, the injectors, this or that, on the dyno. I mean, we were on the dyno consistently, a bunch, trying to figure out how we can make more power, how we can tune this thing, how we can make it reliable, how we can make it go fast. So now that it's coming back out and I had the opportunity and privileged enough and fortunate enough for them to jump on board and help me, I couldn't be any happier to be a part of AEM again and then be a part of the car with the great products they're making. For example, like the coils and those smart coils, you know, sometimes you need a lot of ignition to light the fire. And honestly, when you start getting CDIs and all these different components, it just makes so much of a cluster. You want to keep everything as little as possible so that you have less things to go wrong. So I'm really, really glad now to get the coils, the dash. I'm excited about the dash, being that, you know, that was one of the things we talked about, how could we upgrade this car and get all the modern technology stuff in the car with keeping the cost down. Well, dashes, you know, most dashes are astronomically expensive, but with the AEM dash, you get such a bang for your buck where it's so cheap and it does so many things so well, which is gonna really help me go fast. I think by being able to log all the components, along with having the GPS and the speed sensors, which the car really never had, I'll be able to lay that information on top of each other, see where the car is slowing down or where the car stopped pulling on the G meter, what it did to the tune or the boost, or how I can add more boost or take away less boost at that part of the track. I think it's gonna really, really be great. And I think my goal of hitting 6s with the car, I'm gonna be able to achieve it this time around with all the components that we have on the car. So keep an eye on us. If you want to see updates on the build or test results and track results from going to the track at FR Performance.